I started off this short film project by creating a blog on WordPress.com. This website allowed me to record and present the whole process of creating my short film in an engaging way in the research, production, and post-production stages. As a result of this, I was able to manage and assess my progress throughout the project and ensure that I was completing the necessary tasks in the production of my film. The WordPress site is simple to navigate and record my work on and has a categorization feature that allowed me to easily and clearly organize my work. The website also allowed me to embed images and videos into my posts, which allowed me to demonstrate and enhance the points that I was making in my work. I conducted my initial research by analysing existing short films. I used YouTube.com and VirginMediaShorts.com to view independent short films. This research was useful to me from both an analytical and technical perspective, and for inspiring and developing my own ideas for my short film. I found using YouTube to be particularly beneficial when searching for post-apocalyptic shorts, after deciding on this theme for my own film at the beginning of my project. As the short films I found on this platform heavily influenced my ideas, I was able to embed the URL links into my blog post and attach them to my textual analyses. This enhanced the posts as it allowed the reader to watch the short film before reading my analysis and made the post more visually engaging. I also utilised this platform to research tutorials regarding editing, filming and costume techniques ahead of producing my film. It was therefore a valuable resource to me throughout the whole process of this project. During my audience research and feedback stages, I conducted some discussion-based feedback interviews with a group of participants from within my target audience. For this, I used the Panasonic HC-V510 camcorder and a 64GB Class 10 SD card, which I was able to record the interview and capture the dialogue clearly. This allowed me to review the footage at a later date and pick up on key suggestions that were made at the start of my research and throughout the planning stage. I was also able to share this video on my WordPress blog via YouTube, which I did by creating my own YouTube channel specifically for this project, which showed my examples of audience research and feedback. I also used this camera to film the footage for my test filming, as the aim of this stage was to experiment and test shot types, camera angles and camera movement. Instead of recording in high quality, this camera was ideal. During the pre-production stage, I expanded the hardware and software that I used. To take photographs of my hand-drawn storyboard for use in my animatic, I used the inbuilt iPod 5th generation camera. This camera was both simple to operate and produced high enough quality photographs to use in my animatic, which will be shown to my target audience and peers. I then used iMovie to produce my animatic, as a simple program allowed me to insert, order, and change the duration and camera movement of all the images in my animatic to produce a sequence that, as closely as possible, presented the look that I wanted to create in my short film. I also expanded on the written processes used in the pre-production stage. I used Scribe.com to upload my shot list, script, target audience questionnaires and production schedule and risk assessment, which were all essential in creating a successful media product, onto my blog. This platform, when used on my blog, presented the documents in an effective way by making them easily viewable and accessible, which enhanced the flow of my blog. During the production filming process, I used the Canon 700D to film the footage for my short film. This camera was effective in the fact that it took high quality images and had an efficient inbuilt microphone that easily picked up on ambient sound and most of the dialogue. This camera also enabled me to focus my shots manually during filming and had an adjustable viewing screen that enabled me to film effectively from a variety of angles. Coupled with the camera, I also used two types of lens to film the duration of my film. I recorded the majority of my film using the standard 18 to 55mm lens. However, I also recorded several specific shots using the 50mm lens. This second lens had a shorter focal length that allowed me to film shots with a blurred background, which was essential to the success of several shots in my short film, particularly the last shot. As it was clear that after reviewing some of the footage that some of the dialogue that was recorded was inaudible, I re-recorded some dialogue on the Apple iPod Touch 5th generation. As I had already used this device to record the evaluation questions for my AS project, I had confidence that the sound quality of the dialogue would be sufficient. In the post-production stage, I used Final Cut Pro to assemble my short film. This software allowed me to crop, import, set the duration and adjust the colour of the footage that I filmed. I could then order the shots to make up the scenes and make any other changes necessary to ensure the smooth running of my film. and then put each scene together to create my short film. One aspect that I utilised in particular was the colour correction tool. This tool enabled me to change the colouring of some of the shots to match the other shots in the sequence by using a colour match tool, which elevated the continuity of the scenes, increasing the success of my film. This platform also enabled me to use editing to engage the audience with the text. For example, in the third scene, I inserted a point of view shot after a shot of the boy was used. This allowed the audience to experience the position of the protagonist, engaging them with the character and consequently the film. During the post-production process, I also utilised other resources online, such as dafont.com. This website provided me with a range of free fonts to choose from for use in my film poster and film review. From this website, I selected the font Volps after consulting my target audience, which I then downloaded from the site and used in Final Cut and Photoshop. I used Photoshop CS5 to produce both of my ancillary tasks, as this provided me with a professional platform to produce high-quality work. This software gave me a lot of freedom to produce the products that I wanted. It allowed me to change the size, colour and effects of my main images for both tasks, and also allowed me to insert shapes and texts, which was essential to the success of both products. One particular way that I was able to utilise the features of Photoshop was when I created my custom biohazard symbol for my film poster. Using the pen tool in the program, I was able to draw out the custom shape and then insert it behind the title of the film poster. For the evaluation stage of my project, I used Final Cut again to create the videos. This program allowed me to import the images and audio that I needed for these questions, which demonstrated the points that I was discussing. To record the dialogue, I used the built-in microphone in an Apple iPod Touch 5th generation, as this was an effective recording device for my AS evaluation questions.